Tammy Talks, or welcome to Tammy Talks. So, we're going to get into Brett and Ryan this week. They finally gave us something to talk about. They are like the most boring couple, and it's because they don't talk themselves. Um, so, this is Married at First Sight, Season 13, Episode 9. If you have not already, please subscribe to my channel. I do Married at First Sight reviews every week, along with a couple of other shows. Like the thumbs up the video, leave a comment, share it, tell a friend, all that good and fun stuff. So let's get to it. Um, Brett and Ryan do the same exercise that all the other couples did, where they were supposed to talk about whether they have been in love or not. If they have, what got them to that place, and what how are they feeling in their current relationship? Do they see themselves falling in love? Are they on their way there? So I didn't write down because I don't remember if they both had either fell in love before. I think the answer was yes for both of them. I just forgot to write it down. So Brett says in order for her to fall in love with someone, she needs reciprocation. So she needs to know and feel that you like her as much as she likes you. So what's crazy about that is that Lord Johnny, what's crazy about that is that Ryan said that he does not want to reciprocate these feelings for her because he's not feeling a spark. And in the past, he has always felt the spark almost immediately, and he's not feeling a spark with her. So he's wondering, will he ever feel a spark? He's a person that falls in love easily. So yeah, he's been in love before, and they show a clip of him when he was telling his family that he was going on the show, and that he found a mate or found a wife, and he was like, I can definitely fall in love within 8 weeks. That's not a problem. So I think Ryan is hung up, one, I think, on her hair, because that's all he talked about at the wedding. Two, she is just not envisioned. She is not what he envisioned. So he mentioned before at the wedding that she's not the body type that he wanted. He couldn't get past the red hair. She doesn't hunt. She doesn't seem like an outdoorsy girl. So she freaked out on the airplane, which it would be nice if they showed us what happened, if they're going to keep talking about it. But Brett has done some things for Ryan that Ryan considers red flags. And because of that, he is negating what he could like about her, and he's focusing on the spark like Johnny is. And like I said in the video with Bow and Johnny, this is not love at first sight. This is married at first sight. You're matched with these people because the experts thought that they were good for you and compatible with you based on your personality and their personality. So they feel that you guys are good for each other. Ryan, however, is solely focusing on a spark. There's no spark. I didn't get butterflies when I met her originally, or when I first met her. And this is something that Ryan has kind of said week after week after week. He's not there with her because he hasn't felt something yet. He's missing this spark. He doesn't know if he even likes her yet because he is waiting for her to do or say something that would instantly, turn on that switch for him. And that's kind of unfortunate because it's leaving Brett in a state where she does not know if Ryan likes her or not. She said when they were at Jose's house for the barbecue, she was telling Mirla, Gil, and Jose that she doesn't even know if Ryan likes her. They don't talk. He doesn't really ask her a lot of questions. So she doesn't even really know if he likes her. He told her that he is not sure how he feels about her yet, and that he has felt that in the past he has waited too long to reciprocate. So he said in one of his confessionals that he did not want to reciprocate the feelings that Brett is giving to him because he doesn't want to lead her on if he truly doesn't feel that way. And on one hand, that's great, but on the other hand, you're still stringing her along because she's thinking that you guys are growing to a point where you guys could really vibe out and really stay married and do this thing together. And you're over here saying that you don't even know if you like her. Imagine being in a marriage or being put in a situation where you're dating somebody and you have no idea if that person likes you or not. So I feel bad for Brett because she has said how she's starting to fall in love with him. She likes everything about him, and we honestly do not see him mentioning anything like that to her. We don't even really see them interacting. They don't seem to talk while all the four other couples have had some of the harder conversations, and they're going through, the marriage pains and the growing pains of switching from strangers to friends to now let's act more like a married couple. I feel like Ryan and Brett are still stuck at the altar. One is making for very boring TV, and two, it's not fair to Brett. Um, so Ryan is kind of questioning himself as to whether his waiting is something that he's going to regret because he's felt like he's waited too long in the past, and because of that some women have gotten away. So he don't like her. I'm gonna just say that he does not like Brett, and that's a risk that you take when you come on this show. But he was outside telling the guys he was telling Zach and I think it was Johnny he was talking to, how he's waiting on the spark, and once he feels that spark he's going to act on it, but he can't fully commit and act on it because it's not there, and she's not checking off the boxes or whatever of the type of woman that he wanted, and he doesn't want to mess this opportunity up. But he came into this expecting to find somebody that he really vibed with, that he really connected with right away. And because that's not there, he's trying to stick it out, but it's hard for him. And I will say, I feel bad for Brett too, because when they were all inside the house sitting around talking, she mentioned how all the other couples seemed very in tune with each other. They have banter. You see a lot of the husbands with their hands on their wife's knee or on their wife's thigh or around their arm. Rachel and Jose are always all over each other. And then you look at Brett and Ryan, and they look like two friends. They look like the two single friends that showed up to the party. So I don't see this working. We see in some of the previews that it just kind of looks like they're going through the motions. Ryan, I think, just wants to be married because he wants to have children. I think also Ryan wants to do this because his friend died young. We know that his friend died recently, and for him, I think that instilled like a ticking, like a time clock in him. Kind of like, okay, there are certain things that I have not achieved in life that I want to do before, in case I have an untimely death. Whenever you have a friend, I've lost some friends, and I've had some friends that have died um, when I was in college, and it's a shocker. You know what I mean? It definitely takes something. It makes you kind of pause and like reevaluate your life. Whenever I hear of, because I'm in my 30s, and whenever I hear of someone else that's around my age that has died, it definitely makes you pause and be like, oh God, because it's like your life flashes in front of you. And I honestly think that's the only reason Ryan came on this show. But I will say this, for these people on here that are constantly saying that there's no spark, I'm not feeling this with this person, I thought we would be deep in love by now. It's been what, 3 4 weeks at this point. What Ryan is really kind of upset about or banking on is the fact that they have not been intimate yet. He feels they're moving too slow in their relationship. I mean, y'all have to talk at some point. You're not going to come in and y'all are ripping each other's clothes off right away. There's no spark because you're not giving yourself a chance to actually talk to her. Talk to Brett. Remember when Ryan met her family and they said, "Do you have any questions?" He was like, "No." You know what I mean? So it's like I feel like Ryan needs to push whatever pain and hurt that he has inside of him, move it to the side so that he can allow himself to like be loved and experience this process without banking on, well, she doesn't give me butterflies just yet. Talk to her. You know what I mean? You guys can have a, if you think she's pretty, you think she's an attractive woman, have a conversation. Get to actually know her. You guys may have a conversation that kind of gives you that spark. And I feel like Ryan's not putting his all into it, and it's just not fair to Brett, who needs to touch up her roots. It had to be said. She had a lot of brown showing at the top, but I still love her red hair. Um, that's all I have for them. They really don't give us much of anything ever to actually talk about from week to week. Sometimes I kind of zone out on their scenes because there's nothing happening. But next week seems like it's going to be very action packed. Check out all my other videos from tonight on the other couples. Subscribe, thumbs up, leave a comment. Check y'all next week.